All right, and I think we are live.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yep. All right, good. Well, hey everybody, because we have no viewers right now again. We are live again this Wednesday, and we're working on our Swamp Witch. Right now, I'm in the process of just trying to kind of cover some stuff up here because we're going to be doing some more work with the great stuff, and I don't get great stuff on parts where I don't want great stuff. So I'm just trying to cover a few things up here with Saran wrap. Hopefully that'll do the trick. And we're here with Christy.
So,
Wave to the masses, Christy.
howdy.
And Chris Steffens, who is, oh, there she is.
I'm here.
And hopefully this works better than what I did last time.
So, and I want to remind everybody, if you have questions, post it on the YouTube link.
Yeah, that was my question. Where do you prefer the questions, Chris? Since you're monitoring the questions, YouTube or Facebook?
YouTube, because we have it out on so many Facebook pages, it would be hard for me to follow them.
Good point.
So on the YouTube channel, please post your questions.
I have to cut my fingernail here because I chipped my nail.
Uh-oh.
And
Damn. Don't you hate that?
yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I chipped it on, but I don't want to catch that on anything and rip it off, and that would probably not feel great. All right.
So now what are you going to do with the saran wrap there?
I'm just covering up the base so we don't lose any great stuff. I figure it was probably a lot. Somebody suggested the saran wrap instead of the
paper.
Paper, and it makes sense. It's probably a little bit better.
Well, some people may not know this, but great stuff won't stick to plastic.
So
you can actually spray or do the great stuff on plastic. I use like the painter's plastic.
Yep.
And then you can peel the plastic right off.
Awesome.
Well, so that's a little haunt tip right there.
I actually have this whole thing. I think we're going to end up having to do something with the base of this just because I think it's going to be more back-weighted than I thought. So I may have to do a second base, screw a second piece of wood onto the base of this, make the base a little thicker, heavier, which is no big deal, and give it a little bit back behind it because her center of gravity is going to be just about even with the very back of the plywood, which means a good stiff wind is going to take her down.
Oh.
And we don't want that.
Nope.
So I suppose since we may have new viewers, we might as well share what we're working on here before I get too into it.
Naked woman.
Naked women.
That'll get their attention.
Yes. Here's the research photos that I have, and we are working on Meg Mucklebones, the Swamp Witch from the movie Legend. And with
That is such a creepy picture.
What's that?
I said that is such a creepy picture.
I know, and that's perfect. That hits exactly what we want. We want creepy. Now, I wanted to mention, because this came up in a question, so somebody had, hold on, I'm still learning this new phone. I have to use my fingerprint to open it. I did get a comment on last week's video, so I wanted to share this really quick and share the information because I'm sure she's probably watching, or at least will be watching shortly. But we got a message or a comment from Denise Strong, who said, I just stumbled upon this video and will be watching tonight for sure. I was just wondering what you used for the base of this project. It looked like wood and then foam. Will this be enough to hold? And Denise, yes, you're exactly right, and I'll try and lift this up if we'll see how well anybody can see it without taking out a light here. We have plywood, and this is 3/4 inch thick plywood, and then we have a sheet of 1 inch thick foam over the top of it. The reason I used the foam was simply to raise the raise where the feet sat above the base of the PVC caps that are used to hold the PVC frame in place. And I'll share what those caps look like if I can find one real quick. Which I cannot. Unfortunately, I don't have any more of those sitting around. So, but it's a flat cap that has a couple of screw holes in it. You screw it right down to the plywood. Now, the only problem is, like I was just mentioning, is that the center of gravity on this, because she's kind of leaning back in her stance, her center of gravity is really close. The dogs are going nuts. Center of gravity is really close to the back of this, so she'll tip backwards fairly easily. So I think I'm going to put a second sheet of plywood underneath that, extend it a little bit further back, maybe off on the sides, add a little bit more foam so we can shape it so that it doesn't look quite so awkward. And hopefully that works. But yes, the plywood is one thing that I've always used for my bases. On my grave digger, I use a plywood base. I've never had any problems with anything blowing over. It's always been good enough. And I treat them with a coat of primer, and then a coat of brown and black paint just to kind of break up the texture. So I usually throw leaves over the top of everything so you can't see the bases. And that's it.
Chris Davis said to say hi, SK. She's going to be busy with West Coast Hunters Convention tonight, but wanted to let you know that she'll watch it later. And hi.
Hi, Chris. We miss you. Come to Midwest. Never mind the West Coast stuff. Come to Midwest. Us hooligans.
Hooligans, yeah, we resemble that remark.
Yes. All right.
Yes.
So, and you'll be happy to know, Chris, that I shook my can for more than 30 seconds before I started working today. So.
Good job.
My can of foam is well shaken.
Shook your can, and the great stuff too.
Yes. All right, so I'm going to just get this top part filled. I think, you know what, I'm not, because I'm not done with this yet. I started working on this earlier this morning and got a little bit of work done, but I had to go. We had a coworker pass away last week, and we had a little get together today in memory, because he was not a social type of guy, and so they didn't have any type of services for him. He just wanted everything to be kept kind of quiet and have his ashes spread across Alaska, I guess. So that's what his family is doing. And so I was there for part of the afternoon, drinking and being merry. Right now, I think what I'm working on is probably some butt cheeks. Because she needs butt cheeks, right?
Yeah.
So this is that hardware cloth. And I apologize for anybody who's watching this. I'm not going to make a whole lot of eye contact with the camera, only because I'm looking down at my computer, which is down here, but my camera's way up here on the tripod. I wanted everybody to have a better view of the workspace today, so I had to move things around. Now, I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do this. And I'm kind of, like I said, this whole project is learning for me. So I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do the butt cheeks yet.
Great stuff in saran wrap.
Well, yeah, but I mean, as far as what am I going to... I mean, here's my butt cheek right here. It's got a J-Lo butt, right?
Wait, there's no crack on that.
Well, this is one cheek. So I think what I'm going to try and do is figure out exactly where this has got to be. I'm just kind of, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. All right. I'll be using a lot more zip ties today, too. Let's see.
What was that? Oh.
And I'm going to have to, I think you have to do the same thing for the front side and her hips, too. But I need to try and remember, or remind myself anyways, that I'm not trying to get any kind of real shape to any of this, because I don't know, it just doesn't look. I don't know where the hell the butt cheek's supposed to be here.
Come on, honey, you've grabbed my ass enough to know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think here as to exactly where my butt is. And
Oh, that's a good question. Boston Haunted Manor wants to know, why did you choose the single spine versus the double spine version?
this is actually the double spine version. Oh, wait, I think he's talking about the two posts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dave, answer my question. Are you talking about the two posts that come up as opposed to the one? I should say Dave or Tammy because I'm not sure. I'm assuming that's Dave, and that's probably not very good to assume.
He hasn't responded yet.
Okay. If he's talking about that, this is just what I had. But this is the jointed spine. I don't know how well you can see it, but there is a joint here. And that's how kind of I'm trying to get the arch in her back, but I don't know how well that's going to work out anyways. I probably could have just gone with a straight spine, and it probably would have worked out just as well. I think this is too high for a butt cheek, to be honest with you. So I don't...
Well, you have your rib cage.
I have the rib cage.
And then just down from there, maybe, I'm filling myself up, about 2 to 3 inches is where your hip is going to start. And then just below that is where your butt cheeks are going to be. Yeah, feel yourself there, SK.
I'm trying to feel myself, but then I'm getting distracted. I think what I'm just going to do here is I'm just going to not worry about exactly where, because I can reshape I can reshape this with more foam. So as long as I have something for the foam to grab onto, it doesn't really matter at this point.
Right.
So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to kind of, find something to zip tie this stuff to, and I don't want that stuff sticking out there, though, because this is going to be where her hips are, too. So I don't want her hips to get into some pieces of sharp foam and end up carving into this. So yeah, I think that makes sense to just kind of throw this stuff in there and hope for the best. Because, like I said, this is just giving the foam something to stick to. Obviously, it can't stick to air, and if I try and let me cut some of this off. If I was to try and just run this whole thing down the length of it, it would not work. Run the foam through the open area. It's just not gonna. The foam's gonna drag itself and fall over. I had something interesting happened, Chris. Along the way on this.
What's that?
As I came down here the next morning, and the some of the foam had leaked out. There was areas where it almost seems like there was too much wet foam in there, and it just kind of blew out. And I had these big weird, I don't know if you can see this spot right here, how well you can see it. But
was that the one that was at the end of the can, and it was just more, it wasn't as foamy, so that then you went to a newer can?
Yeah.
Some of this is, but I had a big spot that blew out somewhere up in here. Here it is, right here. It blew out right here, and it was just a big stalagmite of foam that looked very much like that stuff that didn't expand out right.
Wow.
It was very shiny, very dark, and the bubbles inside, where normally the foam.
So it had an abscess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For anybody who's wondering, I might as well share this anyways. But how well we can get a picture of view of the texture.
I can see how it bubbled.
This is what the foam normally looks like, and I'm trying to get focused on it, and it's just doesn't seem to be. It's got a pretty solid texture to it. I mean, it's foam.
Right.
That stuff though. I'll peel off this piece here. I don't know how well anybody's going to be able to see it.
Oh, yep. I've had that happen too.
Big, bubbly, weird
Yep.
stuff. And that blew up from the inside.
Yeah, I've had that happen a few times, and I have no explanation for you.
I'm guessing that it was just wet. Now, the next morning, I could still grab a hold of the thigh, and there was some give to it, some springiness. So I'm just assuming that because it was just so much foam in there, it took a long time for the innards to cure. And this is probably some of the innards blowing out through a hole.
I would agree with that. I mean, I know on some projects that, and I love great stuff, but I've had a few projects where I've used a lot of great stuff, and it does take a lot longer for it to dry. And I have had what you're talking about happen too. It doesn't happen very often. It's almost though like the mix in the can isn't completely mixed or something.
Yeah. Well, always learning, right? Always learning. That's the important thing.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll work. As long as this thing holds in place, I guess. I really don't care how goofy it looks inside there because it's all going to be covered with foam.
Yep. Amy says that she's had a few of the blowouts happen on her projects too.
Hmm.
And I saw no adverse effects from it at all. It just seemed it was just kind of weird, I guess.
Boston Haunted Manor says that they used bubble wrap on their vampire bride and formed the gluteal muscles just below the hip crossbar.
Okay. I think at this point now it's going to be just because I'm doing it like this, I'm going to be able to sculpt it how I want and just add and take away foam until I get it right. But that's good to know. That's,
And he also said, yes, it's Dave.
I did.
Dave!
Oh, Scuba's joined us too, and he says hi, everybody. And Kathy.
I'm sorry, who?
Scuba.
Oh. Hey, Tim. I'm hoping to get Dave up here one of these times so we can all go on a nice little trip out to Salem. Hint, hint, Dave. I know I don't have to convince him. It's just finding a time when it's convenient for both of us to do it.
John 9111 and Kathy LeBeau say everybody says hi.
Hello. And let me know if I start like hogging up the screen because I'm kind of working with my back to the screen today. So if I start being all stupid like that, let me know. I can see, oh, there goes a piece of that fingernail now. And I'm trying to keep track of this here. Denise Strong, if you were not on earlier, I did answer your question. If you didn't hear me answer your question, if you could just send a message to Christy and I'll go over it again. Done yet?
Bruce Janzer says to start them butt cheeks about 5 inches down the legs.
5 inches down the legs, except the big question is where exactly. I think that the butt cheek should start probably right about here, because I'm pretty sure when I was checking my own measurements for this setup, I think it was my hip bones right here. So I was feeling out my hip bones, which are here. So yeah, right about even with the top of this, I'm thinking, because 5 inches down from I don't know exactly where that's gonna fall. But you know what? I'm gonna give this thing a big old J-Lo butt so I can shave it down until it's shaped right anyways.
Now there is a partial covering on that too, though, right?
What's that?
On the Swamp Witch, does she have a partial loincloth or something?
No, she's got some leaves. Some
Okay.
Yeah, if you and I'll actually bring the picture out again just in case anybody hasn't seen it yet. See, she's got just a little bit of leaves. You can see it more.
Just kind of hanging, yeah.
See it more here, but yeah, it's just a little bit of leaves dangling down. Of course, there's no no detail to any vaginal parts. So that's probably a good thing.
Well, if somebody's looking there to make sure it's correct, then we have an issue.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, I think what I'm going to do, because we do have a lot of younger children with the haunt, so I think I'm going to do what they did at Count Orlok's. Count Orlok's Nightmare Gallery in Salem has, right before their exit, a artist rendition of Meg Mucklebones. And they actually I think just last year was the first year I saw it, they had covered the breasts and draped something over the waist to make it a little bit more family friendly. So,
Amy says that she says, I like to help my foam shape itself a little when the outside crusts over, but the inside is still wet to help manipulate the shape some. And then she said she's learned to wear gloves while doing that, though.
yeah, I'm sure, because I'm sure you're going to have parts where it's just going to kind of out on you, and all of a sudden your hands are covered in great stuff. And anybody who's played with great stuff knows the great stuff and hands are not a friendly mixture.
Well, I think on our last build, somebody had mentioned, you know, to help shape things and smooth things down they use the great stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, the plastic.
Yes, 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 that's right. Somebody did say something about using plastic to help shape the foam, and I've seen that before. I actually stumbled upon, well, I can't say he's a newer vlogger. He's got quite a few vlogs, but he was doing a project with great stuff and using plastic to help shape it. And this particular project didn't work out for him, but the concept, I think, was the concept. In concept, it worked. It just didn't work out for that specific project, and it was a learning thing, I think, for him as well. And I definitely see where that could be useful.
Dave with Boston Haunted Manor wants to know, did you guys do the VIP masquerade ball tickets at MHC?
No.
Dave, if you're getting a VIP pass, I'll get one with you, buddy. Now, Christy did not see the value in the masquerade, or I mean, in the VIP pass. We actually have not purchased our passes for the masquerade or MHC at all at this point yet. I wanted to buy everything at once, and I'm kind of waiting on what they're going to do as far as the haunt tour. I wasn't at all satisfied with the pricing and options that they have for the haunt tour this year. So I'm not sure if we're going to go on the Thursday night or the Friday night tour or not at this point.
It's about $50 to go through the Scaratorium and then another $50 to go to that beach thing. No, that's a ripoff.
Yeah, and I kind of agree. Not even kind of, I just agree. I don't see the value in those options there. But
Well, if it's any indication as to the last year Haunted Hoochie, no, absolutely not.
yeah, Haunted Hoochie was good, and I had a lot of fun. I would definitely pay $55 to go back to the Haunted Hoochie, and that party that they had afterwards. Well, if that included the $55.
Although the high point of the evening, you polluting that porta potty to where no one could use it was pretty funny.
Oh, no.
And now that topic comes up.
That was hilarious.
Scuba wants to know how much great stuff you've used so far. Hasn't it been about a can and a half?
No, it's actually been, I think let me look here, 3 cans in.
You already used 3?
Yep. Yeah. 3 cans so far. But the first can also was not a full can.
Mm. That's true.
Now, are you cutting wire still for the butt cheek part?
No, this is actually going to be the abdomen area, because I have the rib cage section all set. It's just, this stuff is really difficult to manipulate really well. So my thought is that if I can just shape smaller pieces,
Mm-hmm.
it'll be easier in the long run.
Yeah, I think with this one, if with the wire that you're using, that really gives it the strength, which I like. But if somebody really wanted to do more of a body definition, maybe chicken wire that they could really shape before they filled. But then again, I don't even know that really matters when you're going to have to reshape it after you fill it with great stuff anyways.
Exactly. Like I said, I like this stuff because it's very firm. It does. It holds its shape well, and it'll give the a little bit of strength to the great stuff until it's dry. And that's my thinking on it. Rather than doing hundreds of layers of great stuff and layer on top of layer on top of layer, I feel like this would be more time conservative.
Amy's gonna be back. She's gonna go feed barn animals. Sounds like she's gonna feed teenagers.
I'm pretty confident that that's probably enough. Maybe I
If
better.
not, you can always adjust.
Well, I'm just wondering whether or not I should put something on the sides here for the hips, and I probably should, just to be safe. Just, a couple long thin strips, and it looks like I have a couple of long thin strips left over right out there. Perfect. Oh, look at that. That'll work. And for anybody who cares, I posted a new vlog today.
Wow, you've been busy today.
Yes, yes.
I got up, I jammed out a couple hours on this morning. Then I went upstairs, I helped Christy cut some soap, and then I came back down, I vlogged. I got myself cleaned up and showered and went out to the little shindig for Mike. And now I'm back at it.
Denise Strong says, sorry I got here late, but was wondering if you added any more foam to the legs.
I have not added any foam as of yet. Everything that's on here is what was on here when I left off on last Wednesday night. And Denise is here, so I will re-answer her question since I know now that she wasn't here earlier. So Denise, yes, you had asked on the previous vlog about what I was using for a base, and you are correct. It is a piece of 3/4 inch plywood with a piece of 1-inch foam over the top of it. And the reason I did the foam over the top was because I wanted to be able to cover up the connectors that I have holding the PVC frame in place, because I have kind of a wide base and I didn't want that to stick out underneath the feet. So I used a piece of foam to raise that up and cover that area. And I think you had also asked, will it be enough? And that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that'll be enough. If not, well, we'll have to fix that. Oh, that's close. I'm thinking that I may have to add a little bit of width to the base of this, simply because the center of gravity is very close to the back of to the back of that plywood, so this will blow over backwards probably fairly easily.
SK,
Yes.
last week you used sprayed a little water on the foam as we suggested. Denise wants to know if that helped.
I'm thinking it did, but I've never really monitored the expansion and the curing of the foam. Usually I just spray it and let it go, and then come back a little while later and hope it's done. And but I mean everything's worked out so far the way I was hoping. So I guess I can say that I think it helped. If that's an evasive enough answer for you.
Psycho says he's here. Did you miss him?
Oh, is that Bruce? Bruce is Psycho, right? I miss everybody when they're gone. All right. Well, I think we can start spraying foam into this part. What do you think, Chris?
I can't really see where it's...
Go for it.
Yeah.
You can't see what? Oops. I could probably connect that back there real quick first.
Hmm.
I think we all should own stock in Great Stuff and duct tape.
No kidding.
Yeah, right? And toilet paper.
How about blue foam?
Yeah, I would. You know what? I would stock in blue foam. I just want it all. If I could have all of the blue foam in the world, I'd be happy.
I still think Dow needs to have a display at MHC.
Yeah, well, they probably should.
Psycho is Bruce. Psycho is Bruce, and he says, SK, start those buck cheek. Oh, no, he already said that one, about 4 to 5 inches down the inner thighs.
Yep.
Denise says, I saw on your website you used a different setup on the base with different settings. Which ones do you prefer?
Wait, you kind of garbled up there for a second, Chris. What was that?
Denise Strong, can you hear
Okay.
me now?
Yep.
Okay. She says, I saw on your website you used a different setup on the base with different settings. Which ones do you prefer?
Different setup with the base. I suppose
SK, we went out of focus on you.
Oh yeah, there it goes. It's trying to autofocus.
That's right. I wonder what it was focusing on. Different settings on the base. I guess I'm not really following.
Oh, my back.
Yeah, I'm not really following the question on that as far as different settings on the base. If she's talking about what I use to connect the PVC to the base.
Denise, well, I know you're out there listening, give us a little bit more clarity on that. Dave says, we had the center of gravity issue also. Contacted Ryan from Spider Hill. We added a cross piece to each base and angled the upper portion of the spine hinges forward.
Well, I think this is, for this one, it's just a matter of the position. Because the way she's standing, she's posed so far back, she's leaning so far back that I probably should have just made a larger base. I'm trying to fill in some of these low spots that I know I'm going to need to hit later to thicken up these thighs a little bit.
And Denise said, instead of the joints you are using now on the ankles, which are the Spider Hill joints, correct?
Right, yep.
To hold it to the base versus the PVC connections, and says, yes, that is what I meant.
Gotcha. Which do I prefer? Well, I like whatever's cheap. Just because we spend enough money in this hobby as it is. But the Spider Hill joints where they connect to the base are very convenient. They attach easily. The one thing I will say with them is you really do have to have a good thick base to be able to screw into. Whereas the ones that I used before, that's just a contraption that I had come up with, trying to figure out a way to make it happen, because you can't buy those type of bases at Lowe's or Home Depot, at least not that I've seen. Those what you get at Spider Hill. So the alternative with the coupler and the cap screwed to the base or bolted to the base is just it's a good alternative if you can't access this stuff. So when I have an opportunity, if I have these Spider Hill caps, I'll use them. But I guess I prefer the other ones simply because they're easy to get. It's easy to throw them together, and I can get them for any size. And I don't have to pay for shipping.
Dave James said that he made a cemetery troll that he actually used scrap foam to fill in the chicken wire before using the great stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, that probably would have been a smart idea. I have so much scrap foam, it's not even funny. I have so much scrap foam, I could choke a horse.
That would also help to use less great stuff.
Yeah, that it would. And that would have been a great idea. I wish I'd have thought about that sooner. It's probably not too late. Except then I have to go out in the shed and find all my scrap foam.
And we have Ashley with us. She's actually on here under Scare Hollow, Troy's page.
Oh yeah, I know why she's on here.
She wanted to see the butt cheeks too?
No. She wants to hijack this. She wants this prop. She wants me to give it to her.
Ashley's asking how many cans of foam have you used already, and I think we already said that that's like 2.5 cans just through the legs.
The legs were 2.5 cans, and I am on my 3rd can now, or my 4th can now. The first can was partially used on a different project. But it's all good because I got it on sale.
I'm going to have to remember that idea when I do stuff like this to maybe try using scrap foam inside before using the great stuff.
Yeah, that is definitely a handy suggestion. You know, I probably really don't need to, well, I guess probably would be a good idea to fill it up anyways, just because I wonder if I have any scrap foam floating around here that I can shove in this just to get rid of it. No, I don't. It's all outside in a big giant pile.
Dave wants to know from Boston Haunted Manor, what works best for shaping great stuff? Can you use hot wire? I believe he's meaning the hot wire tools.
I think you can.
I would imagine you can. I don't know how well it would work, and I've never tried it, but maybe Amy can shed some insight on that. I don't know if she's ever tried it. I really wasn't impressed with the Hot Wire Foam Factory stuff. I used that for, I tried that out. We had gotten, and we had spent good money on the Hot Wire Foam Factory kits at Midwest 2 years ago. And I had high hopes for them. And it just did not work out for me. I was not pleased at all with the results. And I went back to my trusted, it's a multi-tool, but technically it's It's a wood burner, basically. Can number 5, right here. I use a wood burner for all my like routering, if I'm doing grout lines or anything like that. And I use a knife. I prefer to carve with a razor blade over anything else when I'm cutting the foam and shaping.
Now, SK, because I have a short memory,
Hmm?
can you repeat again what your model is that you're using for the Swamp Witch? What you call it? Moodle, whatever.
Oh, Meg
Ashley's asking. I'm sorry?
Meg Mucklebones?
That's it.
Meg Mucklebones, yes, that's her name. As a matter of fact, if you Google Meg Mucklebones, you'll get all kinds of pictures.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get pictures from the movie. Boy, this can just didn't seem to go quite as far.
You didn't use water either.
Hmm.
Oh, you're right. Wow, that's... But I have it.
Denise says, looking ahead on this project, she's just wondering if you're going to sculpt the face or would you purchase a mask instead?
Oh, no, there's going to be no masks on this. This is all going to be sculpted.
Oh, 50 lashes with a wet noodle for Ashley.
Uh-oh.
Legend. Now you have a homework assignment, woman. You need to go watch it.
Oh, she's not familiar with it.
Yeah.
Ashley, don't feel bad. A lot of people are not. I've shared this project with a lot of people, especially people around here, and there's just a lot of people who are like, "Oh, I've never heard of that. Never saw that movie."
Oh, that's like a good movie, even though it has Tom Cruise in it.
Well,
Which I can't see him the same way anymore since Alan talked about that tooth in the middle.
well, I'll tell you what. In my defense, I've never seen Legend.
Oh, honey, for shame.
Unfortunately.
Okay, so now I feel really bad because now I have to Google it.
Have you seen Legend, Chris Steffens?
I think so. I'm lucky to remember what I did 2 hours ago.
Ah, see? Someone else who suffers my plight. People ask me questions all the time. Do you remember? I was like, I don't remember what I had for breakfast this morning.
Yeah, that's called CRS. Can't remember shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Has nothing to do with age. No, I have not seen this one. Is that the one that came out in 2015?
No. That's
Okay, then that's different because this one says it's a story of identical twin gangsters, Reggie and Ronnie Cray.
Yeah, no. This has, if you look up Tom, what is his last name? Tom Cruise, and Legend, it will pop up.
Okay. From 1985.
that sounds more like it.
Is that long?
I have not seen it.
I'm feeling old.
Don't feel old, honey. You're younger than Chris and I combined.
Shut up.
Yeah, that's about it.
Ooh, pardon.
So
Vincent Grimley. Vincent Grimley says it's so bizarre to think that the Swamp Witch was played by the holographic Doctor on Voyager.
For real? I didn't know that.
Yep. And it was played by a male, and I wasn't familiar with who the male was, but I'm not.
That is cool.
Not much of a movie guru. Wow, she's got a super flat ass. Huh?
Now we're making a Kardashian ass on that, you said?
I'm going to have to get a couple extra cans just for the butt cheeks, I think. That looks like my ass about 10 years ago. I definitely think I'm probably going to need more foam, but I could be wrong. When Amy comes back, remind me to ask her how many cans of great stuff she used on some of her projects. Well, specifically, I think the wolf that she's got finished now, or close to finished.
Vincent also said it's Robert Picardo, and he said he also played the werewolf in Eddie Quest, The Howling.
I don't know about that, but I remember he was on Gremlins 2. He was the love interest of the woman gremlin.
Ooh. See, the things we learn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's more of the things we remember. I don't remember any of that.
And he did the voice of the taxi driver on Total Recall. And they even molded or designed the taxi driver after him. Lydia Rossi says, "Hey kids, looking good so far."
Good evening, Lydia.
I also posted the link on Halloween DIY. And Jeff Rogers says, "This is great. Very happy you are in and contributing to the group. It is greatly appreciated."
I try to contribute. I like to be part of the community. I like to give back. This rib cage is really going to take up some foam.
Go find that those spare foam pieces.
You know what, Chris? I'm thinking I might actually go do that really, really quickly, just because I can probably really get rid of a bunch of crap. So, hey everybody, Chris will entertain you for just a minute. Chris and Christy will tell dirty jokes.
Oh, dang it. Let me look one up.
Marco Holodeck played the aliens and multiple characters in the movie Explorers. Ooh, I didn't know that. That was from Todd.
All right, I'll be right back.
All right.
Okay, so I have no jokes today.
The guy walks into a bar and says, "Out."
Yeah, or the one of a fireman. How was that? A fireman, a soldier, and a cowboy walk into the bar.
Oh, that's no joke. You just want to see that.
I know, right? That was my thought. There was no joke to that one. That was like oh, yeah.
That's a goal right there. That's a life goal.
Let's see. I've gotten a couple things here on Facebook.
What's this about something swimming in the Thames?
A what?
There was something swimming in the Thames.
I don't know.
Over in London? Probably a sub.
Probably.
It's a Joyman submarine. Oh, Todd says, love Legend, by the way. Did you know it had 2 soundtracks? Oh, I didn't know. One for U.S. and one for different one overseas. Interesting.
Denise says the finale of Face Off just came on. Now we can watch both, you guys. And Amy says, wow, got the butt on while I was gone.
Kind of, sort of. It looks like it's got the butt almost fell off.
Yeah, I know that, Amy, try to stay posted if you can. I know SK had a question for you, too, when he comes back.
Oh, yeah. Don't
And for those who are wondering where SK went, we ran him off.
Mm-hmm.
Not really. David James? Yep, Dave James suggested filling the cavity with extra foam pieces instead of having to use great stuff. And we're finding that as SK's trying to do this cavity piece, it's taking a lot of great stuff. So SK's decided to go out and grab some scrap foam and going to fill that cavity in and then go back to filling in with more great stuff. See, look at that. He's got a whole box of great foam.
See, folks, this is why you don't throw away anything. No foams of scraps of foam. Ever. Never throw this stuff away. It'll always come in useful.
Yep.
Hey, SK, Amy's back on. Didn't you have a question that you wanted to ask?
I don't remember what I had for breakfast.
I know. I think it was something to do with the foam, but I can't remember either. Christy?
I don't remember either.
Oh, we are so...
The cowboy, the fireman, walking into the bar, kind of everything went, oh.
Yeah, we're still stuck on that. It's the cowboy, the soldier, and the fireman.
Which one had his pants off?
Hopefully all. or at least no shirt.
Let's see. Let me try and think, because we had a question for Amy. And now all I can think about is breakfast.
Was it to do with maybe the butt part that you're working on?
No, I don't think so.
How she fills in her stuff?
No. Come on, people, you're all watching me. What was I thinking? Somebody's got to remember what I was talking about. We'll think of it, when? After this is all done.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. And if there's somebody out there in that's watching this, if any of you can remember for us, please let us know.
I know it had something to do with I think the great stuff.
Yeah, I think so too. Amy says she uses plastic bottles for fillers.
Ooh.
There you go. There's another one, plastic bottles. I would think that the foam would squish the plastic though, wouldn't it? I mean, unless you cap it.
True.
Possibly. Denise wants to know if you made any of those skulls that you have on your shelf.
No. I corpsed one of the skulls. All of those skulls are, well, there's a couple of Lindberghs. There's a couple of foam skulls. There's a fish tank skull. There's a couple of Buckies. There's a foam skull that I got from one of the stores at Midwest last year.
Mhm.
I accumulate skulls.
That he does.
I have to tell you that for those of you not familiar with Reno, Nevada, it's deserty. And we had to drive last weekend from Reno to Tonopah, which is absolutely really nothing in between. And Tonopah is just this little tiny town. And while we were there, there was a Suburban that pulled up with a skeleton, the skeleton cat.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
It was the dog, the Costco one that was actually attached to the top of his roof in the back corner.
Nice.
Oh, and the leg was lifted up like he was peeing.
Yeah. I dig them.
Yeah, I tried to catch them, but didn't see who they were.
Well, that's
That'd be funny if they were on here. I'd be like, oh, that was me.
oh, that's what it was. It's the very thing that we're working on right now, Chris. How many cans of foam?
I think we're up to 5 now.
No, that was our question for Amy. How many cans of foam do you use on some of your projects?
Oh, yeah, that's what it was for Amy. Amy, that was it. How many cans of foam do you use on some of your projects?
How many cans of foam did you use on the wolf?
And I know we kind of covered this, but Lydia Rossi is asking about the hot wire shaping again.
The Hot Wire Foam Factory. Hot Wire Foam Factory. I have their tools.
Mm-hmm.
I was not overly impressed with. I was not overly impressed with them, but I will state that that is my opinion, and that is based on my use. I do know a lot of people who have used them that love them, and I'm certainly not going to knock them. They have their uses. Everybody's styles are different, and different things are going to work differently for different people. But I've had no luck with them. I did not. I was not pleased with how everything worked out for me with that.
We have a couple of more here. Oh, that's a good idea too. Ashley, one of these days I'm going to have to learn how to say your last name.
I'm going to say I think it's Crevolone.
Is that like Prevolone? Like the cheese?
No, that's provolone.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I think it's Crevolone. Ashley, correct us if we're wrong.
We love you, Ashley. She says that she wonders if packing peanuts would fill the rib cage better than just using rigid foam.
Packing penis? What?
Yeah. To fill that with the rib cage?
I bet you it would.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you it would too. And Dave with Boston Haunted Manor, it was so sweet. He went back in the video and said that we wanted to ask Amy about using hot wire on grate stuff.
Oh, yes, that was true too. Thanks, Dave.
And Todd says that there is a DIY hot foam cutter plan/design tutorial on the Garage of Evil.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Remember that. They even have the little how to make the thing that powers it.
And not only is there that, there's great stuff on my sneaker.
Oh, no.
Troy just messaged me. I'm assuming that this one is Troy, and if it's not, it's Ashley. But it is Criv Alone.
Crivolone.
That's okay. She'll just smack me at the end of the month when I see her.
Mm-hmm.
Like Criv, leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ashley, for clearing that up. So I don't sound like such an idiot when I try and pronounce people's names.
And he said, I think it is Troy, and he says, yes, good job. I mean, when I said that, he IMs me and says, it's me. Well, it's me who? Me, Troy, or me, Ashley?
It's
No
me.
kidding.
It's me, Ruth.
Hey, guys, it's not April 1st, so I don't know which one you are.
Huh?
So I have a question then. I have a question for Troy. since we're all asking questions and stuff, is it true, Troy, that you were into Christmas first and your wife converted you into Halloween? Is that true?
I've heard that.
Mm-hmm.
I may never let that one, let him live that one down.
He says, and it is Troy messaging me, he says, yes, it's true.
And I guess the only other question is he going to let his lovely lady be on the video chat tonight and give up the mic to her for the night again?
I don't know, but Ashley has gone onto her page and is in here asking questions under her name now.
Oh, good. Oh, good. And Ashley should know that I told Christy that she would that I was saddened that she didn't get the chance to meet Ashley when she was on chat last week.
Yeah.
Well,
Aww.
That might have been because I threw my back out.
And then Christy was giggling her ass off at the conversation between Ashley and I on my post, and said how much that she liked her.
Yep.
Because Ashley wants my witch.
Oh, is that what it is?
And I'm sorry,
Amy
Ashley,
says,
I can't give you my witch. You're married.
yeah, see?
I have a girlfriend.
She has to make her own.
Ugh.
Or Troy can make it.
Yeah, there you go. Troy's got a new
Hey,
project.
there you go. Put him to work.
As soon as he finishes his cemetery gates.
Yeah.
There you go. Amy says that in regards to the bottles that she's used, she says that she has never had the bottles haven't crushed, and the foam just expands around it. She uses heavy bottles like empty laundry soap jugs.
Oh, that's good.
Ooh.
And with regards to what you asked about the wolf and the great stuff,
Yeah.
she says, wow, depends on my wolf beast. After I had cut his legs off to start over on them, I used about 15 cans.
Wow.
And then, yeah, and then she says, where do you get your foam, and about how much do you pay per can?
For the great stuff, I got it at Lowe's this time around. It was on sale for $2.90 something or $3 a can. So it was really good price, and that was one thing that really kind of fired up this project. I had always planned on doing this for the past couple of years. I've been planning on doing this project, but that is one of the things that got it really got it going, because I was able to get the foam on sale.
Well, and I found here in Reno, most people go to like Home Depot or Lowe's to get the foam. I have actually found that I found it at Walmart as well, and it was actually cheaper.
Yeah.
It was like $2.96 or something like that at Walmart here.
Did you get the great stuff or the Walmart version?
Nope, the great stuff.
Ah.
The same stuff that he's using right now.
Gotcha.
Right.
And if you're really going to do a big project too, and you're using someplace like Lowe's or especially Home Depot, for the one convention I was doing, I actually purchased 2 cases of great stuff that way, and it was cheaper. So sometimes you can get it cheaper by the case.
Yeah, I was looking for a case, and they didn't have a case. They just had the big giant. They had these big giant. I don't know. Price must have been 50 can box of it out on display, and they were on sale. So, because that was my instructions, Christy sent me to Lowe's and said buy a case of it.
Mm-hmm. I actually ordered it online at Home Depot, and then they just texted me when it was ready for pickup. So for those who don't know that too, you can order stuff at least through Home Depot, pay for it, and then they'll get it ready for you, and you can go right into the store and pick it up. And you don't have to be a contractor.
Lowe's will do that as well, because Christy's ordered stuff like that on Lowe's.
Yep.
Amy said that she's tried the hot knife on expanding foam and it didn't work very well for those who are asking. However, wow, that's a great idea, Amy. She says she uses an electric knife to carve her foam. But
Smart idea.
when I carve the shiny off the foam, I have to brush glue on because the paper clay doesn't stick to the foam very well once the shiny part is carved off.
Mm.
And you know what? She had mentioned that, I believe, in her video. I watched the video where she was working on her wolf, and I'll be honest with you, I think that's one of the videos that really fired up this. Oh, hey, I should try it with the foam, because I saw what she had done with the foam, and it really it was a no-brainer at that point. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Why am I going to sit there with newspaper trying to shape this and with newspaper and masking tape when I can just do it with foam and carve it?
Right.
And now I have another question for Amy. I noticed when I was carving this, the great stuff, when I was shaving down the great stuff down here for the calves, any place that I cut, like a day or two later, it had sunken in just a little bit. Is that something that you have noticed as well?
Well, Todd says the electric knife makes sense. My dad used one when cutting pink Halloween foam to do some home remodeling. Home remodeling with pink stuff? I can't see that.
Wait, what? What, home remodeling?
No, using pink foam for anything besides Halloween.
Pink foam is an insulation.
Honey.
Oh, all right. I got it. You're being facetious and funny.
Yeah.
I'm slow.
Gosh. What am I gonna do with you?
Fresh off the short bus here.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Be right back.
And to all the people who have mentioned filling this chest cavity up with foam with anything first, I appreciate it, because I was just not thinking clearly enough to come up with that idea. Esto es stupido. And I actually have this up on a bucket right now, so it's like kind of all floppy all over the place.
Amy says that she's looking to see where to get the great stuff cheaper. She's going to look at Amazon. I haven't found that. When I ordered it, I actually found Amazon was more expensive, but that was about a year ago. And she says she usually gets it at Maynard's for about $2.54 a can.
$2.54, that's nice. We don't have a Maynard's around here, so.
Well, I don't either. And actually, I went on to look at Maynard's because I was looking at we want to build a storage shed. And so Maynard's came up, and they actually have plans. So now I'm going, why don't we have a Maynard's here in Reno? We need one.
Storage shed?
Yeah, so you can just buy the plans and then, build it yourself versus having to buy a kit.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at building a shed myself.
Yeah, I'm looking at, and we want to weigh the cost between buying a pre-built kit that you put together versus if I have the plans, how much is it going to cost me for everything, because then I can make it the way I want.
And it'll probably be a much higher quality when you make it, because you're going to be making it with higher quality wood.
And we use 2x4s versus I think they use 1x2s.
1x2s, really? No, they probably use 2x3s. I noticed the ones that they have at Lowe's, the kits that they have at Lowe's and Home Depot around here, are made with 1x3s instead of, 2x3s instead of 2x4s.
Yeah, maybe that's what Kyle's saying. I don't know, we would do it with 2x4s and leg bolts to really get the sturdiness. The leg bolts would cost more, but if you really want something that doesn't fall apart, do it right the first time.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, but SK, Maynard's, you can go on their site and they do have plans that you can buy.
I'm going to have to check that out.
Oh, I'm going to put the dog back in.
Bruce says, SK, are you worried about the weight with the witch leaning back?
Partially, yes. And that was something I mentioned earlier that bears mentioning again. Because she leans so far back and her center of gravity ended up being pretty close to the very back of the plywood base, even with the back of the plywood base, I'm probably going to take another piece of plywood and put a base underneath the base. And then I'll put more foam on top of that to cover that up, and then I'll shape it out to look like a little mound of something, mound of dirt or whatever. I also was lucky enough, and doesn't it bear perfect timing, I guess, is when we went to Spirit after Halloween last year, we purchased every one of the tall blades of grass and the what the hell are they called there, the cattails from their display for $1.
Wow. Please tell Chris it's pronounced Menards. I grew up shopping at the original store. Oh.
So Menards, not Maynard's.
Yeah.
I like Maynard's.
Maynard's.
Menards.
Like Maynard G. Krebs?
Yeah.
Who knows who he is? Huh?
Everybody get your Google on.
Yeah, who can tell me, without looking on Google, without cheating, who is Maynard G. Krebs? And who played him, more importantly?
Oh.
Amy responded in something that we had talked about. She says, no, haven't seen that on mine. I haven't tried using foam with the wire like you're doing. Wonder if that might be part of it.
No, I think I don't know. I figured maybe it was just because it's so thick. There's so much foam there. Or maybe it wasn't completely cured when I started shaving it.
And Bruce says Maynard James Keenan is better.
I don't get it.
I don't know who that is.
I have a feeling Bruce is going to enlighten us. He seems to be the movie buff.
Yeah, probably will.
So nobody's given an answer for Maynard G. Krebs yet, huh?
Not yet.
What's that all about? I think I missed that conversation.
I was just wondering if anybody could tell me who Maynard G. Krebs was, or where he was from, and who played him. I'll give you the first hint. He was played by Bob Denver.
Is that Oh God, You Devil?
No, you know who Bob Denver is, right?
Yeah, he was a singer. He was also on the Muppets.
It's John Denver.
Or John.
Chris,
Well, I'm off on that.
Chris Steffens, who's Bob Denver?
He's a singer.
That's John Denver.
Oh.
Bob Denver.
I don't know. That was before my time.
It's not. Don't sit on me. It's Gilligan.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
Maynard
Yeah.
is one of his characters.
Maynard James is the lead singer of Tool. Actor.
Gotcha.
But that was from Troy.
Hmm. Dobie Gillis show?
That's it.
That was Todd.
Dobie Gillis. The only reason I know that is because people used to tell me I looked like Maynard G. Krebs.
Well, and Bruce and Lydia got it right. They did say Gilligan.
Oh, see, there you go. Bruce and Lydia are also showing their age.
He was a beatnik character. Yeah, I remember that on Dobie Gillis.
Troy says, hee, keep it up. You're old. I'm sure he's talking about you, not me.
Hey, just for the record, Troy, I'll have you know.
Oh, look at that.
Huh? Yeah.
He wants to know, is that a Haunting Grounds hoodie?
It is.
Which Ashley likes, by the way.
It's not her color. Tell her it's got to be orange. I already heard about how she hijacked Troy's orange shirt. Now I have to get Troy a new shirt because Ashley took it. And I don't know. I don't know about anybody else who's met Ashley, but she seems like a very powerful woman. She seems like when she takes something, when she wants something, she's gonna get it.
Like it's fine. He goes, hey. Okay.
Yeah. You don't argue with Ashley.
No, she seems like she's got her shit together.
Oh, she's IMing me now saying, I love SK. That's it. Troy's just lost his wife.
Hey, SK's mine.
She does though. She seems like she's, she seems like she's got her shit together. Troy, don't make her angry.
Oh, he won't.
I've already got my powerful woman, right, honey?
Yes.
Ashley's going to get on chat with us afterwards, too.
Sweet.
Awesome sauce!
And Bruce is also wearing his Haunting Grounds shirt right now.
Excellent. Hey, Bruce, when do you get back on chat?
Lydia says better zip back up so you don't get great stuff on that beauty.
Oh, that's how you cure a haunt shirt. So I don't know. I don't want to put a whole lot more weight on. I got some saggy ass cheeks here, though.
Shiny ass cheeks?
Not shiny. Oh, shit.
Saggy.
Well, that was wet. Dumbass.
Oops.
All right, let's.
Did you get it on you?
I did. I got sticky fingers now.
Oh, yeah, that butt's sagging a little bit there.
Oh, hey, look, I can see her cooter.
Hey, SK, can you try to adjust your camera a little bit? It's kind of out of focus and fuzzy.
Todd says, funny fact, at the start of the show he was wearing clothes with large holes in them. He hated that. Oddly, he was in charge of his own wardrobe, so over time he reduced the size of the holes. The director/producer didn't notice until the look of the character at that point.
I really have no control over my camera's focus.
Okay.
Is it still look out of focus?
On my side, I'm not sure what everybody else is seeing. On my side, it's just not as clear. It's a little fuzzy.
Here, let me do this.
And John 9111 says, yes, he is the singer for Tool and a perfect circle. Oh, that's what Troy was IMing me about. He says perfect circle, and I'm like, question mark, question mark? I don't know.
Is that any better?
It's more... Well, we can still make you out, but your camera's auto-focusing, so when you're really close, it like totally blurs you and makes you kind of fuzzy.
How about if I stand here? Am I beautiful now? Well, I don't know that I'm really going to be able to do a whole lot more. We're actually an hour and a half into it. I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to do a whole lot more at this point because I really don't want to put the arms here and have this expand into the arms.
Yeah, I think it's gonna have to dry a little.
Yeah.
A lot.
A lot. Yeah, a little bit, a lot.
Look at that leg part. What is that like?
What? Leg part? But you know what is cool?
Duration in her crotch.
Ah. Unfortunately, she's got a mesh thing up there. Anyways, I actually like the fact that this is like carrying down because that's going to help fill in the ass cheeks better.
Mm-hmm.
So that worked out for me. That worked in my favor.
Yeah.
I am going to have to fill out the belly a little bit more because she's got kind of a pooch belly.
Lydia says thigh gap, and Troy says sexy thigh gap.
Yeah, well, this will all have to get filled in more.
Ashley says that is a former of birth control.
Right, yes, the mesh. That was hence my joke. And that's some crazy birth control because that mesh has teeth.
Ouch.
That mesh looks like this. You don't want to stick nothing on that. But yeah, it looks like I'm going to have to do some more filling out. And I'm really going to try this week to get more of this done so that next week, hopefully, next week, if I can get the arms done, maybe we'll start some work on either the head and the neck, or maybe we'll be as far as the paper mache, the first coat, anyways.
Now, to clarify on that, are you going to do paper mache and paper clay? Is that what this was?
And that, one of the things that I had noticed, and we talked about it earlier, with the paper clay not sticking to the carved foam. My thought was, I've always used paper mache, and the paper mache I can kind of wrap around like a bandage to the point where it's sticking to itself again on the other side, and then when that dries, I think that'll make a good base to put the paper clay on top of. So I'm hoping that proves effective, and if it doesn't, it's a learning process.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, SK, that butt on the butt cheek on the other side of you, there's a blob there that almost looks like a hand holding it. The other side, the other side.
Well, it's funny that you say that because I actually see one right here with finger to finger. So yeah, I see that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, somebody had asked how we were doing the head, and this is my answer for the head right here. This is going to be the base of the head, and I'm going to carve the jaw out so that I can do the open mouth, and then I'm just going to start paper claying the hell out of this thing, I think. I'm curious about the eyes, and I may still try to find some kind of eyeballs for her, because her eyeballs are just very, the irises are the irises are very yellow. I have these, which are a little bit yellow, but they're just not yellow like hers. So I'm going to see if I can find some kind of irises that match her eyes. And I'm going to bring this picture back up here. So anybody who's out there who happens upon any irises that look like, I don't know how well we can see that.
Oh, I'll bet you, oh gosh, what's his name? His first name is Nate. He does some awesome eyeballs. I bet you he might.
We'll have to find out. I would really like to get a set of eyeballs that looks like that. And I don't know. I may end up just painting the eyeballs myself. I do have a set of cheapos that I can just turn around, so I can paint those. And I've also considered putting LEDs in them. I don't know if I'm going to or not.
Nate Mata. Oh gosh, Dave, I can't say it. It's Motic, and yes, that's who I was thinking of. Corinne said the same thing. I've bought some great looking eyeballs from Nate, and I'll bet you he might be able to help with that.
I'll have to,
Todd says check taxidermy catalogs and maybe alligator eyes.
Yeah, anybody who has ideas, throw them in the comments. I'm going to go through the comments later tonight, and we'll do a little bit of research before we get to that point, I think. And I better. This can's not even empty yet.
Mm-hmm. Amy says sounds perfect for the paper clay base, the paper mache. Bruce says don't give it a rectal exam. Geez, SK. And Corinne says SK is a part-time proctologist. I see. Multi-talented. For those who are listening to, I'm going to say it again, the joints that SK is using as Spider Hill props.
Yep.
And I'm actually going to put the link in the comment section so you guys can find them easy.
Yeah, since we have a little bit of time to waste here, we got another 20 minutes, I might as well show these while we're talking about them to anybody who hasn't or wasn't here last week or hasn't seen these before. These are the Spider Hill prop joints. Okay? They have a nut right here, and if you loosen this nut just a little bit, they're fully posable. And they have teeth so that once you position this and you tighten that back up, that's it. It's going to hold. It's going to hold right where you got it, and you're not going to be able to. I mean, that's not going anywhere. So yeah, I love these things. I really do. And I said it last week. I'm probably going to pick up a couple more of these kits, but these things are great. I've used one for just throwing a costume on at Halloween. Throw a little something, milk jugs or something in the chest to fill out the chest. You throw a robe or something over the top of this. Throw a mask on a wig head on top, and that's it. Quick and dirty propping right there.
Bruce says that he has a double spine setup from Spider Hill Props that he absolutely loves.
Mm.
Now let's get clarification on that again, because I think that was what Dave was talking about earlier, was the double spine. When you say double spine, do you mean it had two posts coming up from the hips up to the shoulders? And if so, I think that the issue that we have with this is a jointed spine, so that you can actually arch the back.
Troy said to give a shout out to you to let you know that he told Spider Hill about your video series that you're doing using their joints.
Oh, good. Well, I'll tell you, if I like something, I'm going to tell everybody about it, because that's how we further ourselves, all of us. And I don't care if somebody else comes out with a better prop than I did, somebody does a better job on something than I did. If I help people by sharing my information so that they can do this themselves, then that's why I do this.
Bruce says correct, and Ashley says yes, it has two spines post on both sides.
Yep. And I believe that is the kit with the two spines is also the one that they use for their, I don't know what it exactly is. It's got a motor in it, so this thing sits there and goes like this. It's like a zombie thing.
Well, they've got some great stuff, so people can check it out.
No pun intended.
Yeah, exactly.
So while I have everybody here, since we're killing a few minutes of time before we wrap this up, for those who didn't hear, I did another vlog today. I should probably look at my camera. I did another vlog today, and we're giving away in this vlog. We are giving away a copy of Creepy Crawlies 2 from Atmosphere FX. So make sure you check out that vlog, because I want to give this to somebody, and if nobody watches the vlog, then I'm going to have to keep the thing.
Thank you, Bruce, for posting the link for the twin spine, and then Ashley was just reminding everybody that they also have one with a motor.
Oh, well, you know what, Chris? Since we have, I don't care if I leave this live for a few more minutes, but if you want to share the link, and anybody else that wants to come in and we can let people in here, because Ram's starting his now. We'll let people in here, and anybody who wants to talk a little bit more and ask some questions before we get off. We can do that. Since I'm kind of at a standstill, I really don't have anything I can do.
Okay, I have to remember how to do the live link. That's the link we used, right? Or the link that we came in on, right, Christy?
Yeah.
I can do this.
Yes, you can. And Chris, since I didn't say it last week, I really, 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 really appreciate you coming in here and helping us out.
Oh, no problem. It's my pleasure. It's a lot of fun.
And Christy, I appreciate you helping out too, honey.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I mean, this is a time I get to visit with you guys, see?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
What should my next project be?
Finishing the tombstone, finishing the, oh gosh, what was the other one that didn't get finished?
Let's see, Corpse Bride.
The Groundbreaker. Here, let's bring the
Groundbreakers, plural.
Yeah, the Groundbreaker, that was it, yes.
And this one is actually like that close. This one is just... This is that close. I mean, I'm almost done with them. I really am.
Yeah, sure.
I just have had, I don't know, just no desire to work on them lately.
Well, you know, I will tell you that the Groundbreaker was I was asked about that by Jose.
Oh.
And wanted to know when you were going to finish that SK.
Soon. And it
Present?
has to be this year because, and I think that was one of the big issues that we had this year with our haunt. I really was disappointed in the fact that it seemed like we were veering more towards store-bought stuff more than we used to. I mean, we don't have a lot of store-bought stuff. I still have all my homemade stuff, but it just seems like more and more, instead of adding more homemade stuff, we seem to be adding more store-bought stuff, and I want to get back away from that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing that we just don't have any interest in.
No, they're coming. I'm a little slow.
Oh, okay.
You know, I posted on like, I don't know, 20 some odd different sites.
Are we still live, or did you cut it out?
No, we're
Nope,
still
we're still live.
Oh, okay.
Figured anybody who wanted to throw some input in before we wrapped up here could jump in.
I know, Bruce, come on in. Amy.
I decided that SK sort of looks like Dr. House. Tell him congratulations, he's finally outgrown his awkward Gilligan phase.
It looks like who? Dr. House?
Yeah.
Like as in like House MD?
Mm. Guess so.
Wow.
Without the cane. For now.
That's upstairs. Sad thing is half the time I actually need it.
I'm feeling that way today.
Here's
This is the part
Okay.
where people are going to stop watching.
They'd be like, well, this is boring.
I know. Well, you know what? The link's going out, but nobody's asking or coming in yet. Denise wants to know where she can see Amy's wolf video. Liz M says, great progress. Bruce says, are you putting hair on the witch?
I am. I have not figured out how yet, but yes, I am. Amy, if you're still listening out there, if you could throw up a link to your YouTube page, or let us know what your YouTube page is, so that other people can go see your wolf video.
You're genius.
Guess nobody wants to come play with us.
I know.
They don't know
Ash-
the fun they're missing.
There we go.
Lydia says, looking forward to seeing the progress on Meg. Thanks for sharing your build.
You're welcome.
Hi,
Hi, Corrine.
Hey, SK. So I had a couple of questions through the comments there. You were talking about next prop. Does your witch have an awesome cauldron?
We already got that. That was
Yeah.
to be stirring.
He's got my cauldron creep to stir it for her, too.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Big trees. I mean, you're wearing Troy's little shirt there, so you could build Troy's. Just take the lovely little shirt you're wearing and do a tree. Just like that. Troy would never come and steal it, I swear.
Unfortunately, the tree thing, I've considered that in the past, and it's just too big of an undertaking for me to be able to store. Even if I was to disassemble it, I'm running out of storage space, and one of the big projects that we were hoping to do this year that we may end up doing maybe next year was a new facade. And if I do a new facade, it's going to be a facade of a witch house, and it's going to bolt directly onto our shed. our garage shed. So I would actually be able to use the whole driveway for the setup for a swamp witch display or for a witch display or anything like that. And but I need to be able to store it.
Oh, Amy said, sorry to miss the after show chat. It's about my bedtime. 4:30 gets here quick. I'll be getting offline here in a few minutes. I will be there for one of the upcoming shows, though. Can't wait to meet y'all at MHC.
Awesome. Awesome. And Amy, if you're still on real quick, if you didn't, can you post us a link or the address for your YouTube page? Because people were interested in watching your video, your wolf video. And look, here comes Ashley. I see the tree, and I'm just gonna assume that she beat Troy down.
That one is probably Troy.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Nah.
I swear.
Either that or Ashley has a cold.
I thought she was gonna beat Troy down and take his camera.
No. I'm setting it up for her for later.
All right. Well, I guess we can. We can keep this chat going, but I'm gonna kill the live broadcast. So.
Oh yeah, just when I come in, jerk.
Troy,
Go on. Cut it. Cut the feed.
Troy, do you want to add?
What do I want to add? That you're awesome.
SK, how many cans of great stuff did you use on the witch so far?
So far, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm on number 7, and I have 5 left.
Okay.
So we're doing
good.
Oh, Amy posted the video in the comments.
Oh, good. What's her YouTube username? Should be in the link, right?
Well, if you click on the link, it'll take you right to her video.
Yeah, I know, but I can't see the link.
Well,
Did it give you?
So the one day Bruce decides to wear a shirt, he wears yours?
Hey.
Oh,
Amy
you
says
must be something special.
Amy says her channel is under her name, Amy, A-M-I, Chrissinger, C-R-I-S-S-I-N-G-E-R. She doesn't have much there yet, but thank you.
That's all right. That's all right. We'll get you some subscribers.
And lots love of the scare. A-M-I, Chrissinger, C-R-I-S-S-I-N-G-E-R. Video's replaying. She doesn't have much. Let's see. Let's go back here. Lots love of the scare. Says, love how this is turning out. We'll follow the entire build.
Yeah.
And again, asks about sculpting the head and face.
We'll cover that soon.
Why is it doing that? My video stuff is messing up.
That's right. I'm going to kill the live feed.
That'll help.